Okay, so you got yourself out of shape and you decide you wanted to go to the gym and get yourself back in shape. Well, the big question is when you walk in there and you see all those weights, do you start with the heaviest weight or the lightest weight? Well, unless you want to hurt yourself, you start off with a lighter weight and you build yourself up. Now, wouldn't it be nice if mortgages were like that? Turns out you can get some of those. And if you hang tight, I'll show you how. Okay, so in this video, we're going to talk about something called the graduated payment mortgage. Okay, now it is a very complex mortgage, but it is designed so that your payments actually start off really small and they grow over time. All right, now this is different than your constant payment mortgage, which I'm sure you're used to with your home or with maybe another commercial building that you've had, where the payments, as the name suggests, are level. They're the same. In this case, the payments are not. Okay, and they just simply grow over time. Now, this video is a very, very detailed video. All right. So what I did to make it a little bit easier, I also put some other videos down below that lead up to this. So it'll help you out. There's actually a very comprehensive one down there as well. If you got the time to watch it in there, I think you're going to get a lot more out of that because it lets you go step by step through these. But in this particular case, what we're going to do is we're going to build an amortization table for a graduated payment mortgage, and then we're going to analyze that note for the fees. All right. I hope you liked the video. If you do, please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe bell or subscribe notification and that bell notification so that you get more videos as they come out. And please keep in mind that nothing is scripted here, so we kind of go with the flow of things as they go. So forgive me if we make some errors in there on that. All right, let's start off building an amortization table, and we'll analyze the video. Take care.
Now, I did change up the format a little bit different so it doesn't confuse you from the previous episodes. We're still keeping the same value of the property at $2 million, loan to value ratio 8%, and the loan amount of $1.6 million. That's the same. Same as the interest rate. It's 4.06% over a 30-year mortgage this time rather than a 20. Then we're going to have now the graduated payment mortgages. The way they work is they reset every so often. In this case, it's 5 years. And then there's the incremental cost of that capital, which is 18%, which is the unique characterization or character of a graduated payment mortgage. You actually get to see what the incremental cost is of that capital. But it has a very unique cash flow footprint. And we're going to see that here in a second. But first, let's go ahead and build the amortization table. Now, bear with me. It's very complicated. So like I said, if you get to a point where it's getting ahead of you, just stop the recording and make sure you get the formulas in correctly. The very first thing we have to do, though, is we have to figure out our initial payment. And this is pretty complicated. So let's go ahead and get started here. Here we go. We're going to start right here in our formula. We're going to figure out our payment. Okay. So we're going to put a 1 here, hit enter. And on this one, we're going to have to put a formula in. So we're going to be equals to, and this is where it's important to keep up with the parentheses, 1 plus, we're going to go up here and we're going to go, okay, B10 is our incremental amount. We need to freeze that, and everybody's computer is a little bit different. You'll know it's frozen because you'll see the two dollar signs in there, one for the column and one for the row. Some computers, it's actually function F4, others is shift, and others could be control F4. You just have to decide what it is on your computer. We're going to close this parentheses. We're going to raise it to the power, okay? Put another parentheses in, and we're going to go here to B23, raise it to that one, minus 1, okay? Hit enter. All right. You'll know it's correct because it's higher than the 1 in front of it, all right? We're going to grab it and drag it down to 5, and each one of these should incrementally go higher. All right. Now, the next one we're going to do is from year 6 all the way to 30. So let's take a look at that. So again, we're going to equal sign, parentheses, 1 plus B10. Freeze it. Close it. Raise it to the power. This time we're going to do it as 6 minus 1 and hit enter. Okay. Next thing we got to do is figure out our monthly present value of an interest factor of an annuity. And I'm not going to go into the definition of that tonight. We're going to tie all that up in episode 7 in a nice, pretty bow for you. But just suffice that we need to calculate it. We're also going to need to do the same thing just for the interest factor. All right. But right now, let's do it this way. All right. So here we go. It's going to be equal the present value, parentheses. You got to have the rate. which is right here. We're going to freeze it. We're going to divide it by 12 because it's monthly. We're going to put a comma there. We're going to go, it's 12 months. We're going to be looking at the future value of $1, and we're going to close that. We're also going to multiply it by a -1 and hit enter. There we go. Now we're going to drag this all the way down. All the way down. I'm sorry. Go up 1. There we go. Now at 6, we're a little bit different. So we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to go PV. And we're going to do here, our rate, freeze it, divided by 12. The comma in there. Now here's where we're going to do something different. We're going to put a bracket there. We're going to multiply 25 times 12 because that's what we have a remainder in the note. We're going to put a comma in, and of course it's still at $1. Close the parentheses times -1. Hit enter. All right. Next, we're going to use the monthly present value of an interest factor. So let's go ahead and do that. We've got equals to 1. Do that there. And here, now pay a real close attention because this formula is very different. All right, so we're going to have our parentheses. We're going to have a 1 divided by parentheses 1 plus parentheses our B8, freeze the frame, or freeze the cell. All right, divide it by 12. Close the brackets twice or it won't let you do it. To the power of B22 times 12. Close the parentheses and close it again. All right, if everything went right, it'll go right, and it did. All right, so this one should actually decline. It should go down a number. So here we're going to go all the way down here. Drag it all to the bottom. All righty. Now this one's rather simple. It's just literally column 2 times column 3 times column 4, just like it says in the formula. Okay, you got that one, and you're going to drag it all the way to the bottom. Right there. And that changes our factor. So this now produces our initial payment. All right. Now let's come down here and actually do the amortization table. And again, like we've done in the past, you hit enter, enter, and then just come up here and grab it. Grab the handle and follow it all the way down. It's not very forgiving, so you got to make sure that you're careful here. There's 360 payments. All right. Let's get over here, go back up to the top. Wind it way up to the top. Okay. We're going to equal it to our payment, which is what we figured out right here. Hit enter. All right. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to say equal to here. Hit enter. And we're going to come back and we're going to drag it all the way down to 12. We should get our number. All right. Now, if you notice, I put these little cheat marks in here so that you can see where your factor is going to change. All right, so that's your end of year. So when we go to make our payment this time, okay, we're going to come along here. We're going to go equal to this one right here, this cell, B51, freeze it, okay, and we're going to multiply it by parentheses of 1 plus B10, freeze it. Okay. Close the parentheses and hit enter. All right. Now here's the cool thing. We're going to take that one and we're going to drag it all the way down. I'm going to show you how to cheat here a little bit. Drag that all the way down to the bottom. Don't worry. It'll copy it all the way the same all the way down. We're going to go all the way back up here to the top and watch what happens. All righty. So now we're going to come down here to 25. Okay. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at that number. Just come up here and change this real quick to 63 and hit enter and drag it all the way down. All right, and then come down here. And this is a nifty little way to get past your always having to redo this formula. Good time-saving technique. Okay, and then hit that, double click it. All right. Come down here to this one, okay? Okay, and we're going to hit, going to be 87 because that's the cell we're looking at. It's always the preceding cell. Okay, there it is. Double click it. Okay, come down here to 5. And here we go. We're going to hit 90. 90. Hit enter. Double click it. And there it goes. All right. So now we're done with creating this payment plan, right? Get all the way to the bottom. Click out of it real quick so we don't accidentally change something. Now, the interest payment. Here we go. So here's where we're going to go. Equal to, we're going to have to go positive because these numbers can go negative. So we're going to make sure we're going to force it positive. We're going to go put our interest rate in. We're going to freeze it, of course, and divide it by 12. And then we're going to multiply it by E39, which is right here. All right. This is where our balance is on our note. Hit enter. Okay. And then what we're going to have is our principal. We're going to figure out our principal, which is also going to be, we're going to force it. We're going to go B40 right there. Okay. Minus C40 right there. Hit enter. And it went negative on us. I did that on purpose. All right. And our balance is going to be equal to, force it to be positive. We're going to force the positive. We're going to go E, which is right above us, minus D40. Hit enter. Okay. Okay, that should not have worked like that. Let's go back here real quick. Did we get it right? Oh, that's the reason why. 40. Ta-da! That's how I know it's right. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go here, and we're going to double click it, and it should have done it all the way to the bottom. How do you know it's complete? It's because if you go all the way to the bottom, you should see a 0 in your payment. So we go all the way bottom, confirm it. We go all the way bottom. We should see it fully amortized, and we did. So we know it's right. But we need to compare this to a constant payment mortgage, which is what we're going to do differently today. All right. So I'm going to get back up here to the top. Here, we're just going to look at our payment. So we're going to hit equal to payment. We're going to get to our payment formula here. And we're going to go to our rate, okay, which is B8 divided by 12. We're going to multiply it by loan term. Or, sorry, we're going to do the comma loan terms next, times 12. Takes care of our monthly payments. And then we're going to look at negative B7 as being our loan amount because we're paying that out. Okay, so we're going to hit negative B7. Okay, close our parentheses. All right, hit enter. And that's going to be our loan payment under a constant payment mortgage. Again, you just double click that and it tears it all the way bottom if it decides it wants to to cooperate with us. All right. Let's go here and get this done. Let's go F4. F4, just to do it correctly there. Let's hit enter. Okay, now let's try it and see what it does. Nope. Didn't like that either. Okay. Always something with this. Let's try this again. Okay. We got B8. First of all, let's get this back. B8. All right. Get all the way through this thing and okay, B8. Okay. Divided by 12. There's that times 12. And that is negative B7. Oops, sorry. Have that there. I wonder if it's because that needs to be parentheses around it. It does. Parentheses B9 times 12. Okay. Nope, didn't like it. I wonder what happened here. payment. B8 divided by 12, B9 times 12. And then we have negative B7. All right, hit enter. Okay. Okay. Enter. What is wrong with you? Okay. Yeah. Okay. F4. F4. Enter. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. All right, finally, folks, finally got all that done. If you saw me click out, I had to go through and edit because even I made a mistake on there. I didn't freeze a couple of frames, and our payment came out wrong. Okay, so here we go. We're going to definitely do some editing in this one. All right, so now we've completed it. And one of the things you're going to notice in here is that our payments take some really different turns here. You start seeing these negative numbers in here, and it's going to show up right here. This is the same exact loan, all right? And we look over here, completely, the table is completely done. Actually, you can come in, and if I can get that to quit messing with me, you can see where it went all the way out. All right. So now what we want to do is go up here, bring that back in. Sorry. Zoom a little bit more reasonably. And so now what we're going to do is we're actually going to look at this graduated payment mortgage versus a CPM. So this red line is the CPM. It's a constant payment. It's level. Okay. But here you see the stair stepping that starts to occur. Okay. In the note. So it starts off with a really low payment and it just keeps going up until finally it comes out at the very top over here. Okay. Now let's look over what happens to your mortgage amount, though, the balance on your mortgage. It kind of balloons up a little bit. It grows and then it starts going back down. So it negatively amortizes for a while. That means the balance goes up. Let's take a look here at 2. And here we've changed it a little bit. We've added 2 points to this, and it's changed just a little bit. It's spread it out a little bit further. The stair step is a little bit flatter, okay? Same thing on the note. You notice that the note itself is kind of flattening out a little bit more, all right? And we're going to go here to this one. In this particular case, we took a look at our constant payment mortgage. You see, here's that line, and here's the stair step incremental in the payments. All right. But in this particular case, the graduated payment mortgage loan balance is a little bit, it's more downward shaping. But look what happens. So if you've programmed your stuff right, all you have to do is change a couple factors and things work a little bit different. All right, so if we come over here real quick, and let me drag this bad boy over here so you can see it. Drag that over here a little bit better. If I go change this to, say, 10%, see how it starts to get, the hump starts going in there? So we're going to go back up to this 18%. And when I do, oops, sorry. I got that in the wrong thing. I should have been 5. Let's go here and make it 18%. See how that humps, the hump changes? And look at that, how it changes here too.
All right, so some of the key takeaways you should have had when looking at this amortization table is how difficult it was. It was very different than other ones if you put any of those amortization tables together. All right, this one was pretty tough. And in fact, it was tough on me even when I was doing it. Okay. So I made lots of mistakes putting this thing together, and you will too. That's okay. No biggie. All right. It'll all work out in the wash. Now, one of the things that you notice is that growth weight of that payment really affected the balance on that mortgage. You could get negative amortization if you didn't build it correctly. But the other part of it you saw was that it stair-stepped up. And so a key takeaway from using a graduated payment mortgage is that you want to use these for mortgages in which you're maybe doing a development project where your cash flows are very small and you want that to match your lease up. Or even if you bought an empty building that's going to have tenants in it and you want to lease up. So that a graduated payment mortgage would be that. It is an exotic note. You won't normally find that out in the market, but you can do this. Now, we didn't do we didn't go into other details like tilt or anything like that that's in these notes. So there's other complications that are in there. We'll save that for a later video. And we also didn't talk about other exotics like plams and SAMs. Okay, we'll do that also in another video. Each one of these types of mortgages are like a tool. They're used for a specific thing. Okay, so the other part of it is you should also have a chance to take a look at the fees costing. It is different, but it allows you to hit those payments the way you want to. And if you remember, as we've talked about in other videos, and you had a chance to see one that's really good would be the nature of finance. So you can take a look at that in my playlist. In that video, we talk about the three things that finance people are looking for are magnitude of cash flow, timing of cash flow, and risk of cash flow. So as you saw, that the magnitude of cash flow in the beginning of that note is really, really light, and the timing is over time. Okay, that also increases the risk. Of course, that's the cost of the loan. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video. On the end of the video, I'm going to put an end card up that has the next suggested video up for you. All right, thank you.